What's up, guys? I really felt like on my heart to make this kind of video today. I know this won't resonate with everyone, and this is not like a sound design video at all, or a technical video by any means, but I like to talk about real stuff on this channel as well. And what I wanted to talk about was how having a good relationship with self-discipline and also prioritising my health and well-being has just like massively turned my life around in the last 3 to 4 years. I had a session with a student today. This morning I had a really lovely swim. I got up at 5:30 a.m, had like a 700 metre swim. It's a great start to the day, and I felt so excited about that. That was, you know, for 4 or 5 years ago, I would be getting excited about what I'm going to drink tonight or how this party's going to go. But now I'm excited about how early I get up and how much of a swim I did. So it's crazy how my life has just done a complete 180, like in the last 3 or 4 years or so. And yeah, my student today, a shout out to you, Lewis, also asked me, what's your story? And I was, that's quite a long story actually, but I thought I could make a quick little story about how the last sort of 3 or 4 years how it sort of changed my I started prioritizing my health and things like that more. And I've always been making music. I've been making music for like 14 years or something. And I remember like back in the day when I would first be making music, I'd be doing all kinds of other stuff as well on the side, partying, staying out late, drinking, smoking, loads of things to cloud my head and my focus. And although like I thought these things were fun at the time, what I can tell you is that the difference that I have now in like my focus and my clarity, like with any tasks, like be it actually sitting down to produce a track, I'm always like in a straight line forward direction. Like I'm not really sitting there ever like going in circles with an idea or getting stuck. I'm always like razor sharp focused, because even though I don't produce as much like per week or per month as I used to when I was like really training myself as a producer, now I just sort of do it when I have time, because I have loads of other jobs to do that come before making my own music sometimes. But so when I sit down to produce now, I'm really like just straight away like always like going forward with the track, bringing it from start to finish, like in a straight line almost. I might faff around a little bit on the side for like 5 or 10 minutes and get something wrong and then think, no, delete that, and then change the idea, but yeah, having a better relationship with self-discipline and my health has like just completely changed the game for me in terms of my actual career as well. So probably the main thing is cutting out the stuff that is not good for you, but you do it anyway because it gives you short-term pleasure. That's obviously one of the main things. So maybe I'll talk about that first. I guess the thing that I used to really do a lot was drink alcohol. I've done loads of other stuff, but nothing really was as near and dear to me as a good alcoholic drink. And I wouldn't really say I was like an alcoholic, but I would say that just like any British or German man, I loved to drink beer as much as possible. And while this was it kind of felt normal at the time, I realised it wasn't, because I realised that I would end up drinking to like relieve my stress, or drinking for like a reason always, and it wasn't just to enjoy the drink by itself, which is fine, and I'm not condemning anyone else if they want to drink or smoke. I mean, in my opinion, you can't really tell anyone else what to do. It's up to them, but all I can do is share my story, and maybe it inspires someone, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, it's been like over 2 years now since I've had a drop of alcohol. It's been about 2 years and 3 months now since I had like one drop. It's funny because I was in Lithuania recently, and I had a drink called kvass, like spelled Kvass, and it's like a lemonade that's like slightly alcoholic. and it's supposed to be like a soft drink. I really like the taste of it, but it's supposed to be like 1.5%. But anyway, sometimes they make it stronger, and when I started drinking this, I could taste the alcohol, and I was like, oh, this is more than 1.5%. Felt like it was about maybe like 3% or something, but where I hadn't had a drink in such a long time, and I used to drink like a lot. I used to be able to have like 10 or 11 beers like in an evening. I'd be fine. I'd be at the gym the next morning, you know. But like now, because I haven't drunk for so long, when I had that little tiny drop, I felt it, and I actually hated the feeling. It was really bizarre, because I used to love like the feeling of getting tipsy, and like I hadn't eaten. I was like fasting. There's something else I do quite a lot, is I fast like quite a lot, like during the day. I tend to just eat like one meal a day if I can, and I'll just snack on like fruit and stuff in the day if I feel tired. But yeah, that also helps a lot with my workflow, because if I try not to have those situations where you have like a really, really big meal in the day and then you get like a post-meal slump kind of thing, where you've had loads of carbs and then you like get all tired and sleepy. I try to avoid that, so that I don't have these like slumps in the afternoon. So I tend to like only have like one big meal per day, but I'll have like snacks and stuff during the day sometimes. But yeah, with this alcoholic beverage that is not really supposed to be alcohol, but I like almost felt like I was getting a bit tipsy already, and because I hadn't really eaten, and I was like, oh, I don't like this. It was really bizarre, because I used to love the feeling of alcohol, and now like over 2 years later of not having any, when I had that feeling, I was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't feel in control. I don't like it. So it's bizarre how that's kind of, my desires like completely changed, which is really, really weird. But it's good though, because I don't think I'll probably, I mean, who knows what will happen in the future, but I don't think that I'll ever go back to drinking alcohol like ever again. Like life's too good without it. It's funny, because it was difficult to find ways to relax and get fulfillment without it, because I'd been relying on it for so long to be my source of like pleasure, you know. But I found that pretty after a few months I sort of got over it, and yeah, I guess one thing that it helps you realize is like what you actually really value and enjoy and like in life, and it actually increased my love of music so much. Like now I love music like so much more than I've ever loved it before. Like I spend like half of my day just raving out to just tunes, you know. I just love, like, before, like if I would go to a party or something, like in my 20s, it would have to be, you know, you'd be perhaps drinking or taking things to like really get in the zone for the party and enjoy the music. But now, where I've been sober for so long, like I kind of feel like that every day in a sense. I feel like every day I'm just like so on fire for like music. So cleaning up myself in terms of becoming more sober has been becoming completely sober basically has just massively amplified the enjoyment that I have for my passions. So music is, I always think I have like 3 main passions in my life, which are traveling, music and food. And those 3 things I enjoy like so much more, like in every single way, because I just really focus on those things. Like I can't travel all the time, obviously, because I haven't got enough money to do that. When I travel though, I travel on a real budget. Like I'm really, really good at getting deals. Like I'm probably, without trying to brag, I'd probably say I'm one of the best people in the world for getting good travel deals. Like I'm literally on fire for budget travel. Like if you need tips, just hit me up. But yeah, where am I going with this? Yeah, music, your own production journey and skills. Let me know as well if you guys have gone through any similar transformations in your life with your health, and how it's affected your productivity and things like that, because it's just my mind is just so much sharper and clearer where I've prioritised my health, and it's become actually more important to me to have like a healthy day than it is to actually like make music, in a sense. Like, I would rather put the time and effort into my physical well-being, or my spiritual well-being, or my mental well-being. If I feel like I need to do that, like, I'll prioritize that over making music or something any day, because it's only when I'm in like my fittest state of mind, and I feel like fit in my body, that I'm able to then actually I'm able to get into the zone where I make like the best decisions always with my own tracks, or like when I'm mastering, or when I'm teaching as well. Like, I always want to be in my best frame of mind, and so that's why I highly prioritize like my health now, because it just impacts everything else in your life so much more. Like, it sounds, if I said this to myself 5 years ago, I think, shut up mate, you're so boring. I would literally think, you're so boring mate, just have a drink and calm down. But like, I don't know, it just seems to me, from my personal experience, that life is just so much more blessed these days. Like, having re-shifted my priorities to focusing more on my health. And so aside from alcohol, another little story about me is like, I like to smoke cigarettes. I don't know why. When I was I used to be a social smoker, and eventually at some point around 3 or 4 years ago, I started smoking cigarettes actually without alcohol as well. It's very strange, because that didn't last for long, because I've been educated on the fact that smoking's like the stupidest thing you can do for your health, and it just makes no sense, and it actually doesn't even feel good. It kind of like makes me anxious after I've had a cigarette, and it's just like there's no benefit to it whatsoever, apart from the act of doing it and the idea of it. But yeah, so I'm not perfect by any means with my health, because I actually smoked some cigarettes again like in the last few weeks, because I was the brain plays tricks on itself always, and I was on holiday, and my brain managed to convince me that it was okay to buy a pack of cigarettes on holiday and have a couple, and so I ended up doing that, and then of course I smoked the whole pack when I got home. But that's stopped now. Thankfully I've stopped again, and I'm not like a super addict when it comes to cigarettes, so it wasn't too difficult to stop that again. But yeah, just to let you know, like, I'm not perfect. Like, I always make mistakes. Like, when I'm by no means the perfect model of health. But yeah, with alcohol, I've done a really good job of that, I think. I'm pretty impressed with that. But generally, I don't really like the effect anymore. I used to I drink alcohol-free beer like a lot, because actually I love the taste of beer. That was one of the main things about it, really. And it still gives me a bit of a calming effect, like an alcohol-free beer. It's like a placebo. So I enjoy those quite a lot. But yeah, pretty much no drinking, no smoking anymore for me. So how do I have fun? How do I relax? I don't know. Listen to tunes. Just going after your goals and stuff, because those things will get in the way of your goals, So many times when I've been like hungover in the morning or something and tried to make music, and it's just been rubbish, and I've not been in my best frame of mind, and it's just so much better now that I don't ever have those wasted mornings, But yeah, the other thing is exercise. I really developed like a strong exercise like ethic in the last 3 or 4 years, probably in the last like 4 or 5 years, and mostly weightlifting now for me has just become like a massive part of my life. I just love the way that it calms me down quite a lot, like just like lifting some really, really heavy weights, making sure that I don't injure myself, and just like getting in tune with my body and what it's capable of, and like pushing myself enough so it's like a challenge, but also being aware of how my body is like tightening and things like that. So like having that like closer relationship with my body and like improving my strength in like a slow and steady way is great. It's a great like meditative experience almost. But I love to do like some like medium powerlifting kind of moves. Yeah, lifting weights is great, and cardio as well. Like I do like a lot of cardio, walking and uphill walking, that kind of stuff, swimming when I can. But yeah, pretty much exercise like almost every day, to be fair, because I feel like I can do like I feel like I pay attention to what my body can do on that day. And like if there's a day where I can feel that my body's just like not really up for anything on that day, then I will like rest. But I feel like if I've got the strength in me to do a bit of exercise, even if it's just a bit of walking, let's say I've done loads of heavy lifting the day before, but the next day I'm fit enough to do a bunch of cardio, then I'll do that. So I'll kind of just see what I'm like on the day. But usually most days of the week I'll have enough flexibility and strength to do like at least a little bit of exercise like every day. So I love that. It's really built like a strong level of discipline into my mind, which has then just massively transformed across all other aspects of my life. That's probably the number one thing, is the exercise. Aside from cutting the bad things out that are harmful to my body, cutting those things out and increasing the amount of exercise that I do has been absolutely the best change in my life in the last few years. And it's absolutely made me like so much more confident with being a better teacher, being a better producer, being a better mastering engineer. Like it's just made my confidence in all other areas of my music production career so much better. And definitely I would say that if you don't exercise at all, then you're missing out a lot. And if you are exercising a little bit, I would say that if you just turn the frequency up a bit more and push yourself a bit more, then it's probably only going to give you like more benefits as well across your music production journey, across any other aspects of your life. So yeah, that's just a little anecdote today. It's a bit of a long video. I'm sure not everyone's watched it all the way through, but I just wanted to share how me focusing more on my health and prioritizing that as like really like high up, like the highest thing on my list, just has been a massive game changer in all areas and aspects of my life. And there's lots of other things we can talk about, other little health hacks and things, and like doing cold showers and saunas and like other stuff to take care of your body. I didn't even talk about diet, like doing some intermittent fasting and eating the right things, that eating natural things and avoiding unnatural stuff, which is like obviously a massive game changer for your energy levels. And just like focusing on your energy in general, focusing on what things that you do in your day-to-day life that like suck the energy out of you, and what things you do that give you energy, and like just really paying attention a lot to your energy levels and how they're affected by what you're doing, and like stop doing the things that ruin your energy and start doing the things that boost your energy and your positive mindset as well. Because also I have this channel on my Discord about well-being, where I kind of set the channel up to like post like inspirational things about showing that we are like working on ourselves, like eating healthy or like exercising and stuff like that. But sometimes a lot of times people will actually share stuff about being like demotivated and stuff like that, about their music and like self-doubt. And well, I think personally that like it's all a game that takes place in the mind, you know, because sometimes people can throw you off your game or say stuff to you. And there was an old saying at my school, which when I was a kid, which is sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. And that's so true, because you can't let what anyone says to you about you, or like about your music or anything like that, you can't let any of that get to you, you know. And I think like focusing on your health and your well-being in general builds yourself up to be a little more mentally strong to withstand like people saying negative things. And then I think from that it's a lot easier then when you're like, you know, focusing on your health and your well-being. I think from that point then it's a lot easier to deal with like feelings of self-doubt and things like that, especially when it comes to your music, because like the thing of doubt is just a thought, isn't it? And if you can take that thought captive and not let it have any airtime in your brain, like, then you're good to go, really. So doing all of these things for your health and your well-being, in a sense, creates that stronger mental fortitude where you're then able to take those negative thoughts captive and kill them before they grow into something that actually affects your enjoyment. So yeah, that's my little anecdote for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't worry, I'll get my bum back into the studio and show you how to make a bass like Skrillex again. And yeah, much love, my G's. Have a great day. See you.